Greetings, ladies and gentlemen. I'm very happy to be here once again. So, we have spoken about unconditional love, we have spoken about the act of forgiveness, and today I want us to talk about our needs versus our wants. Needs versus our wants. And mind you, all of these topics are related to the ones that I'm covering one way or the other. Now, before we go to needs and wants, we will talk about the act of gratitude. And like you know how I always do it, I like to tell my real life experiences versus stories so you really understand my concept. As a boy or as a man who grew up in Ghana, I came up from a very religious background. So my whole entire family are very religious. They are Christians. And I remember when I was a teenager, I used to follow my mom to this special mountain in Ghana where Christians go to pray. And they used to believe that when they go there to pray, their prayers are much more heard from God. That is not what I'm talking about. But as a 17-year-old boy who followed my mom to this place to pray, and everybody was praying, at the end of the prayer, the leader of the section was asking everybody to do a brief introduction. So people were telling their name, what they do, their marital status, their societal and civil status. And that is where I learned that there were doctors, there were even pilots, there were bankers, there were women who were fulfilling in societies, like there were women who were ministers or who were secretaries of ministers. Like their lives seemed pretty much okay. That is my point. But all of these people were crying their hearts out, looking for some more thing. So, for example, like the banker is looking for a promotion, the pilot is looking for an upgrade in rank, the wife who has kids is looking to have more kids. Like everybody is looking for something more. So as young as I was at then, there was this question that was always popping in my mind. Do they really want this or they need it? Because there is a very big difference between what you want and what you need. But many a times, what you want and what you need may cause you to be ungrateful to what you have. So,
Excuse me. Sorry, I fucked up. The what you need and what you have. Can you please say it again because I fucked up the cameras?
okay, so from that place. So, what you have and what you need are pretty much very different things. But what you have and what you need, if you don't understand the two, it may cost you actually what is substantial to you. So, let's get into it and then dive into it a little bit further. Gratitude and appreciation. So, your needs and your wants will drive you to be either ungrateful. And when you are ungrateful, that is even where the bus is going to go for a long ride. Because when you are ungrateful, your eyes and your mind does not register what you have. It does not register what you need. It mostly registers what you want. And then you end up giving yourself the pressure to pursue what you want. And the more you chase after it, the possibility that you are not going to have it as you want or even to have it after all is very high. So then you keep on putting pressure on yourself, you keep on chasing, and it's not like you don't have it. Like this banker, like I was saying, he has a job, right? He has a job, he has a decent salary, he has a decent car, he has a decent home. I am not saying that we should not fight for more, but this banker has pretty much everything he needs, and he is not acknowledging the fact that he is currently at a point somebody is praying for. He's living somebody's dream. He's living somebody's goal. He's living the life somebody is praying day and night for. but yet still he wants more. He doesn't necessarily need another car. He doesn't necessarily need another house. He does not necessarily need another phone. He just wants them. And then it's going to put more pressure on him, making him be unfocused on the game. So he may end up going to work and may end up not doing his work. So he will go to work, probably log onto his computer, and then he'll go on Google, and then he'll be watching some latest Mercedes or latest BMW, and then he'll be watching some YouTube videos on which car is latest, what money you can do to buy the car. But actually he doesn't really need them. He just wants them. And then it is cutting off his productivity because all his mind wants is to attract what he really doesn't need. In order to find out what you really need and do that for yourself is also another form of unconditional love. So the other time I was coming up from the bus station and I saw this homeless guy, and I was pretty much in a very good mood. I was coming from a pub with my friend. So yeah, I was in a good mood. He approached me, he asked for some coins, and I gave him the coins. And looking at this guy, he was very hungry and he was thirsty because looking at his lips, they were very dry and cranky. So I gave him enough that could get him some decent bowl and a bottle of water. But to my surprise, as soon as I gave him the money, he watched me for a while to make sure that my tracks can't be seen. So I entered the bus, and inside the bus, little did he know that I could still see him. And what did he do? He didn't go and buy some slice of pizza or some hot dog with some water. He went into the tobacco shop and got some little bottles of whiskey or vodka. So this is what he wants, and this is not what he needs. What he actually needed was to go and buy some water, bottle of water, and get some food to eat. And doing that also explains and justifies the point that you love yourself. And that is also a form of unconditional love. How come you haven't eaten since morning, probably from yesterday? You haven't or barely drank water, and a good Samaritan gives you some coins. What you have to do is think about what you need. Of course, you want to get drunk, you don't want to stay in the world sober, but that is not what you need now. You need food and hydration. But then he went in for the alcohol. I am not speaking against alcohol. We all drink some bottles of beers and some shots sometimes, but then there is always a thin line between what we want and what we need. And many a times, because we misplace the differences, we end up being ungrateful. And the last thing you want to do is to be ungrateful. Gratitude will open a lot of doors. Gratitude will open a lot of opportunities. Gratitude will take you there. Gratitude will bring you up. But then if you are very focused on what you want and what you want only, trust me, I'm talking from experience, it is one very fast way to bring you down the drain. So, what do you need and what do you want? You need to identify those specifically. Before I end it, there is one thing that people normally tell me all the time. And I'm not trying to bash anybody. For example, like my phone. I'm using a pretty much decent iPhone that does everything that I need. As a businessman, I can use this phone to call, to text my clients. I can use it to receive money. I can pay with Apple Pay. I can buy my tickets, my flights. I can book, I can do everything that any iPhone can do. And the first question that people ask me is, why are you using this phone? Why are you using this iPhone? It is as if I am supposed to want something by all means and by all standards. But as a man from where I come from and from the understanding I have, what I need is just a phone. And to me, I have a phone. And it does everything that a phone does. It doesn't mean I can't afford a latest phone. No, I could probably afford it. But do I need it or do I want it? If I just want it, then it doesn't make sense to me. because what I need is a phone and it does the job of a phone. So I think this phone explanation will just sum it up. One important thing, ladies and gentlemen, I am really trying to create a community, a group, a fan base on YouTube. So if you do enjoy my videos, if you like my mindset and the way I present my cases and my stories, do well to subscribe, like, share the videos to your friends and family, and write a comment below. I really want to know what you think about the topics I speak about. I really need suggestions from you on what next to talk about. Until then, see you, and don't forget to subscribe. Bye.
And cut.